Hi guys, welcome back to Two Worlds Collide podcast. On today's episode, we have Chris Cork, a political commentator from the UK. In this episode, we dive into the recent marches in the UK, the fallout from the Charlie Kirk situation, immigration in the UK and what it's doing to their country, and the UK social media ban. Just a quick note, Chris is based in the UK and unfortunately his audio didn't pick up quite well during the recording. Apologies for that, but please stick with the conversation because it's a cracker. I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, Trump is not a very liked man in Australia, I can tell you that.
I believe so. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get the length some people go to with it. But then again, I just look at it as a whole, and I just think the world's mental at the moment.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. We're in a world at the moment, especially with Trump, right? So many Australians despise Trump. They don't just dislike him; they have a deep hatred for him. And I was talking to a friend about this the other day. I think there's a massive problem with that because our media over years and years, right? And like our media must be very connected to like a democratic left media in the US. Yeah. And for some reason, mate, we have just been berated with Trump hate and there's been nothing about like when Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, he was shaking hands with ghosts. He was, he had no idea what he was doing. There's no reporting on that over in Australia. Like no one knew that Joe Biden, unless you went on to, YouTube and Instagram and places like this. Like no one knew that Joe Biden was completely incapacitated in his job and he had no idea what he was doing and he was a corpse walking. They just hated Trump, and it's been, it's a really bad thing that the media's done. Look, on a personal level, I'm not a massive fan of Trump, but that's more to do with like releasing the Epstein files.
I was going to say, do you think the media haven't helped with the hatred of it? Do you think they've put it out in the message like, we don't want you to like this man, and then people have looked at it and gone, actually, we don't like this man? Or do you think it's just personal preference? No,
I think the media has a massive influence in Australia with it, and Australians do what the TV tells them to do. We're still a race that hasn't really moved away from listening to the TV, and that's why we are where we are in this country as well. Because 2 days ago, our energy minister Chris Bowen brought out a report telling us that there's going to be a whole bunch of deaths in the future because of climate change.
Wow.
And we ship 25% of the world's coal, and we're the second largest exporter of gas. Like our natural resource sector is practically the best in the world. Yeah. And we are changing our energy sector, destroying our energy grid. Our energy bills are going through the roof to go green for this green tick of approval, when we're 1.2% or under 1.1% maybe of global emissions.
Yeah.
So the very thing they are telling us that is going to kill us in the future, they are still exporting it by the boatload overseas. So it doesn't matter if we emit it in China or Australia. Either way, it's going to kill us, and they're still telling us it's going to kill us, and they're still exporting it. But then we have to make sacrifices and cut back.
Yeah.
And that came out the other day in the media, and the media ran with it, and they did this massive scare campaign of like, rising sea levels, melting ice caps, fires everywhere. We're all doom and gloom. Yeah. And Australians believe it, mate. Australians still watch the TV, and it absolutely baffles me.
Yeah.
Mate. The UK. Perfect example. Those marches, they said there were 100,000. I looked at it; it was millions.
Millions, mate. Someone's actually done like put it in squares of how many people they was there and stuff. And they went on for miles and miles and miles. Obviously, you can tell over there it's getting a lot of negative press from Sadiq Khan and Keir. They've condemned them, but like they keep saying far right racist. They're throwing them cards about like, it's my monopoly money. But when you actually look at the videos of people who are actually there, content creators, this is why I think the power of content creators is next level. I feel like, I agree with Adam Brooks in a sense. Adam Brooks from GB News. He's outside the Bell Hotel in Epping. He's been there, and he was putting a message out there we are the media. We're the media now. We're the content creators. We're getting more views than these media channels. I know you do silly figures. You upload a video and the figures are like straight through the roof, which is good, because you are kind of technically putting out the right message out there. Not for everybody, but you're putting it out with the statistics, the facts, the proof as well. You're giving it like a different outlook, because obviously some media outlets are quite biased to one thing, which isn't good, because you're putting the wrong message out there. So like you were saying then with the energy, we've got Ed Miliband. Now, this man wants to spend billions and billions and billions of taxpayers' money to save us up to £300 a year by 2030. They're already putting the energy bills up in October. I think we've got some of the highest household bills in the world. And then it's like Australia, like you've just been saying, with 1%, we contribute 1% or something silly like that. And I don't understand how people watch the telly and watch these people and go, they're having us over here. They're absolutely having us over. The bills go up every single year. They do it in stages. I don't know how they do it over in Australia, but you get to October, put the energy bills up, obviously because people are going to use the heating, so your radiators and stuff to keep warm. Then in January, they'll bring them down. So they'll go up like that, and then they'll bring them down like that. So people go, oh, the energy bills have come down, that's good. Yeah, but they've not come down to where they used to be. They're coming down like a little bit, and then it goes up again, and then it goes up again. So it's like a stairway of doom, basically. And the water bills are going up. Everything goes up, and they gaslight us every single time they get the opportunity to do it. But so I like to do that. I don't know if you, your energy bills and stuff. I like to take that bit of information from them lot, put the right spin on it, and put it out there to people of, that's not what's happening. You need to open your eyes and listen, and it's not a good thing. They're putting your energy bills up. They're going up through the roof, and if you take it back every single year of every time, they go up massively. They come down in stages, and they go up massively. That's why we're paying some of the highest energy bills that you've seen. It's absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. And they're going up again in October.
Yeah, Australia has the greatest natural resources in the world, but we have the highest energy bills in the world.
It doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't. No. How does that make any sense? That 2 second thing you've just said should make just enough sense for absolutely everybody in Australia to go, that's actually right. That why are we paying energy bills when we've got all these natural resources here? It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. What would you say on average your energy bills are? Like, do you pay monthly? I don't know how it works in Australia.
Yeah, we pay quarterly. It's different in every state. My state, South Australia, we pay quarterly, and our bills have, it's fucking retarded. Our bills have went up by probably 70% over the past like three years. Yeah. Yeah, and mate, it's only going to get worse. I've got a young family, want to have more kids. So it's only going to get worse. Solar panels on the roof as well, especially if you're in South Australia, where I am, which is, south of the country. It's just, they might be good for half of the year, but the second half of the year when there's no sun at all, we get smacked. And the problem is with our energy bills, South Australia, is we shut down our coal plant in 2013 or 2014, so cheap, reliable power, can't burn coal anymore. And we also just shut down our gas plant. So we have to get all or majority now of our energy, we have to get it from interstate. And I believe, I'm maybe not 100% sure on this, but I was talking to a politician about it the other day, so I haven't done my research on it. I actually should, and I should do a reel about it. But I'm pretty sure we get our energy from Queensland, goes to New South Wales, to Victoria, and then it comes to South Australia. And every time it crosses the state border, I'm pretty sure someone puts some type of tax on it. And we just get screwed in the ass when it comes all the way back to Australia. And it's just, nothing makes sense in this country anymore.
Nothing makes sense here either.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, hence why I got you on the podcast, because I always think, and me and my friends always talk about this, we always get to see a snapshot in the future to see what the UK are doing.
Yeah.
And that's going to be Australia. I don't know. We don't know if it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I like to think it's generally around 2 to 3 years, a bit of a snapshot into into the future and probably into more realistically reality of what's happening now. The difference with the UK and Australia is like you guys have the English Channel, which separates you from Europe, and then obviously further on to Middle East and Africa. Australia, we are so blessed here that if someone does try to come in on a boat, I mean, it's like a highly unlikely that boat will capsize, won't make it, and a bunch of people will die along the way. But with you guys, it just seems to be these boats are flooding in of fighting age males every single day, and Keir Starmer is just letting it happen. It's almost like he's selling out a nation to foreigners to almost import voters or some weird like this global push to just flood Western countries with third world immigrants, and not just any third world immigrants. They all seem to be fighting age males. This is what I keep explaining to people. It's like the people coming on the boats, they all seem to be ready to go. Like there's no women and children. What's going on here? Like, are they fleeing without their families? What are they doing? And I don't like. I've been thinking over, and since I've been creating a lot of content, and me and you have sort of risen up at the same time with a lot of our stuff. To me, it just seems a little bit coordinated. Yeah,
you're the same. We're completely on the opposite side of the world. I still ask the question every video I do on it. Nobody has fully explained to us why it's happening. But now it's like we've been gaslit ever since this has been announced. Gaslit. That's the only thing with, we're going to smash the gangs, we're going to stop the boats. And then, I don't know if you've seen it on the news, they tried this new deal with France. So on Monday, they had one migrant to fly out. Didn't happen because charities were complaining about it or whatever. The second day, they tried again with one migrant. There was loads of journalists on the plane as well. Same again, didn't happen. I don't know what's gone on today. I did another podcast last night with Reason, and we talked about this. And we were saying the same thing. It's very mediocre, but the same thing with the energy bills. We pay for this. So this whole thing, what is happening, so the hotels, the food, everything, we're paying for this as a whole. But there's no explanation. There's no explanation whatsoever for why we're paying for it, why it's happening, how long it's going to be. And like I said with the whole content creator, it's brilliant because people can put videos up and go, look, I don't know if you've seen the video, but the guy said, I got offered a contract. They wanted to rent my hotel out they give me like a 3-year contract. I'd be earning like double the amount of money that I'd be earning if I had it as a hotel in general. And when you look into it, you think, why are they so desperate for this? Why are they so desperate for this? And you're right in what you're saying with the men as well, because there was a video, I think it was the Britannia in London. The Harris fenced it off, which is fencing, so you could kind of see through it. And there was a coach arriving at 1 a.m. Now, if there wasn't anything sneaky about it or anything like that, they're already in the UK. Why 1 o'clock in the morning? Why make it so secretive? Every single person that got off that coach was a male, young male. Where's the women and the children? Where are the women? The only women and children I've seen are videos when people have taken ones actually in the hotels where they sat eating food and stuff. And I've actually been to one in Blackpool, which is a seaside town, about 40 minutes away from me. And there's a big hotel there called the Metropole Hotel. You can search it and have a look. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go and have a look for myself. And I went up, and there was young lads on the beach. There was people, English people walking around. There was young lads on the beach, and I went to the hotel. There was all outside the hotel, and I was just thinking, why are you letting this happen? And the thing is, what was a bit of a smack in the face for me was there was a cenotaph outside the hotel, so wreaths, war names engraved, like soldiers, veterans, right outside the hotel. And I'm thinking, these people fought for this country, right? And you're smacking them in the face by doing that right outside it. This is like, when they come to pay the respects and stuff or whatever, these people have not a clue that these people sacrificed their lives to fight for this country, not for that to happen. Because it is a beautiful hotel, but it's just sold its soul to to the government basically with these contracts, and it's not a nice sight. But like I said, we still don't have a clue why it's happening. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense. All I know is we're paying for it, and we're paying a lot of money for it as well.
Did they, when they started this, and it seemed to be just after COVID, probably the same time it started to happen with us as well.
Yeah.
Did people catch on straight away, or is it like a slowly thing? Did they announce that they were just going to start flooding people in, or they just did it?
Apparently, it was the Tories that started this. Obviously, we had the Rwanda thing, and it was apparently there was the Tories who were the hotel thing. But I'll be honest with you, I never knew this was happening full scale in Australia either. I was absolutely gobsmacked. I thought Australia was so difficult as a country to get into. You have to have money in your bank, point system. Because many moons ago, I did actually look to move out to Australia because I just had enough of the UK and whatnot. And I was absolutely flabbergasted. I couldn't believe the stuff I was seeing. And when you obviously asked me to come on the pod, I thought it'd be absolutely fantastic to show your people, my people, that this is not just a European thing. This is a global thing. It's like a major operation for me. It's like a worldwide operation. No explanation why it's happening. But when it started, obviously we had the Rwanda thing. Now that was more of it was like a circus show. So no, I don't think people fully understood that this was happening slowly but surely, and then getting bigger and bigger and bigger to what it is today. So it was a bit of a laughing thing. Everyone was laughing at Rishi Sunak. Oh, you spent all this money, the houses you paid for in Rwanda. People actually in Rwanda are now giving in them houses. And it's like, what are you doing with the taxpayers' money here? You're just literally putting it down the toilet. So as the beginning, I was a bit on when I was doing the content on it, I was a bit more like, this is laughable. Didn't know what was going behind the scenes of this is going to happen. And then when it come closer to the Tories coming out, and they had the PMQs with Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer, you had the outgoing Prime Minister in Rishi Sunak, and you had the incoming Prime Minister of Keir Starmer. And you would think every single day of the week that Keir Starmer would make a mockery of him, and it was the complete opposite. And Rishi Sunak, I don't think you've seen the clip, he said, I promise you now, if you get this man in as the Prime Minister, they are waiting at Calais to come over, and they will come over in the boatloads. And you've got to look back at that clip and you think, he was actually bang on the money with it. And it kind of makes you think, did they want to stop it in a sense? And then when Labour got in, they just went, right, full throttle, let's get this going. It's quite...
Because who was Keir Starmer's predecessor? Was he Labour as well?
Who's that, sorry?
Keir Starmer's predecessor, was he Labour?
I think so.
Okay. Because that's the Labour government now, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously it's Labour now, but they're all on thin ice. They're all on such thin ice, and it's a circus show. It really is, and I think he could be gone any time. Rachel Reeves could be gone. He could be gone. They talk about Sadiq Khan going now because of the whole Mandelson thing, and then you've got the rape gang thing, and I used to tear into Rishi Sunak constantly. And when I actually look back now of what he was saying in the PMQs and stuff, it kind of makes you think, did we have it good? And we've, I don't know. I don't know how to put a spin on it, but I dislike the Tories as well, as much as I don't like Labour. So I think it went full throttle when Labour got in, and it was Keir Starmer. It wasn't. And like when you were saying predecessor, it changed that many times. You had Boris Johnson, you had Liz Truss. You couldn't keep up with it. It was like a comedy. It's like a comedy show. It's like a circus. It really is in the UK.
Yeah, it's a massive circus here in Australia. Every single politician, they never seem to be standing on their own words. Like, for example, prime example, my best mate, he actually follows me on Instagram, Chris Bowen, which is hilarious because I take the piss out of him all the time. But the reason I started doing content is primarily because of Chris Bowen, because I'm like, this guy is just, he's lying to us. He is lying to us. And the problem with politicians is that over the years, right, they have been able to get away with so much stuff, and the government the media never ever called them out for it, really, on a large scale. No one's ever called them out on it like we're doing now. That the content creators are really getting angry, and we're starting to call them out on it now on a large scale. A lot of my stuff is going viral. The only reason it is going viral is because of the time we are in.
Yeah.
You know, 5 years ago, if I was saying half the stuff that I was saying, I would have been getting called a bigot, a racist, fascist, climate denier, and all this stuff. Now we're doing it, and everyone's like, that guy's 100% right, because whatever has happened over the past decade, we have lost the very meaning of being Australian, and the government has lost every bit of like inner spirit to be Australian. They don't take care of the Australian people anymore. They take care of whoever's flying in on the next plane, and they're giving them a whole bunch of money. Because our immigration system, it's because I almost think that Australia is in a worse situation. You guys are in a worse situation physically, but from a government point of view, I think we're in a worse situation because we're actually flying these people in on taxpayer dollars from wherever we're getting them from in the Middle East or Africa, and we're flying them in. So we are knowingly getting these people on a plane and flying them in. With you guys, they're just rocking up in boats.
Yeah,
so
we're
at least,
them up.
Yeah,
we're picking them up in the channel. We're picking them up in the channel, which is
and you guys are picking up in the channel.
Do you know the thing is as well? What's like when you just said then that's like I didn't even know that myself, but that's like a slap in the face to the taxpayer over there. But when I kept saying the power of social media, having a phone, having a mic, we actually had Nigel Farage. You had a few other content creators. They were getting on boats and going to the English Channel and seeing these boats and people, the RNLI or whatever, picking them up and bringing them back. And he was showing you that this is happening. He was like, look, it's happening right now. This is happening. But you'd never see that on the media. You'd never ever see that on Sky News. You'd never see that on the BBC. You'd never see that. That's when I think, just after lockdown, that's when I think people started, like you said, if I did a video on this 4 years ago, whatever, people would be like, yeah, but he's talking crap. He don't even know what he's talking about. But now, as it's grown, which is, for me, is a little bit too late, and you've got people showing you physically that it's happening, and it's costing you money, because that's all your, taxpayers' money, that's when I think people are going, 1 minute, that's not right, this is a bit wrong, this. But for me, in regard to Australia, I didn't know they was flying people in like that. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and the government will try and tell us that that's not the case, but when you drive through my major city, Adelaide, my major city, and I mean, I was talking to a mate about this the other day, and like everyone calls me racist for saying this, but there is hardly any white people in the city anymore, and it's like, what happened over the past probably 3 to 5 years? What happened for that? Like, Adelaide City is unrecognisable. Now everyone's like, everyone loves calling me a racist for saying that, but I am so done with getting labelled all these things that it just bounces off me now, like water off a duck's back. No one cares anymore. No one cares about getting called all these sayings at which the far left, radical left like to call us anymore. So I don't really care. But even for example, the gym that I go to, the amount of like Africans, Indians, and Middle Eastern people that are going to that gym now that weren't there 3 to 4 years ago. Like, I don't need to, and our government, I still don't trust them on the immigration numbers, not one little bit. Whether it's whether you got full-time immigration, part-time immigration, student visas, whatever, right? I still don't believe the actual numbers they are telling us, because on the ground, and every single Australian listening to this, their transit to work is so much longer, so much more jammed with traffic. Their gyms are more packed, hospitals are more packed. Everything is harder to access in the last 3 to 5 years. So like, we don't need to be told. And I think we're getting something like 500,000 a year or something like that. It's crazy. And Yeah, the government keeps trying to gaslight us, telling that, nah, we don't really have an immigration problem here. It's actually people land banking. That's what's causing the housing market to skyrocket. And then you look at stuff like Perth the other day. Someone sent me a video of Perth, a friend of mine. There was like 200 people that rocked up for a home inspection to rent it. Like, no one can get rent in this country. No one can buy houses. It's like, and they are flooding us with mass immigration all at a time of a housing crisis. Yeah. Houses have doubled in price and they'll only tell us that it's up like 30 or 40%, but that's absolute crock.
Yeah.
They have doubled in the past in the past probably since COVID, and same thing with inflation. Like, they'll tell us that our inflation numbers are only at 2%, but they just change how they review the data. They do it on a 2-year rolling average. So inflation is only measured every 2 years now, not like the 3 to 5 to 10 years. So from 2020, we're up like 50%, 40%, but now it only shows we're up 2%. So everyone's like, economy's okay again, inflation's okay again. It's like they don't even add rent into inflation anymore. So rent's up like, I don't know, probably 100%, 150%. They don't even add that into the inflation data. And it's like, all this stuff is happening and we're getting gaslit and lied to by governments. And everyone in Australia is, and I can see it in the UK, everyone just feels so abandoned. And I shouldn't even be laughing about this, because I want to ask you a couple of questions here. Because Keir Starmer came out and wrote something, what was it, like the other day, about we are in the fight of our lives or something. And I did a reel on this last night. I'm like, who are you in a fight against? The people that marched?
Yeah.
Are you in a fight? Are you in a fight against your own people? So the people that marched, the patriots that marched because of government oversight, immigration, all those people that were out with Tommy Robinson, only 26 arrests as well out of the millions of people there. So it was a very, very peaceful march. Are you saying you're in a fight against those people, your own people? I mean, this guy is a fucking flat out traitor.
Yeah, he is. Sadiq Khan as well. He's
because two questions here. I want to understand how these people potentially just walk up from the Middle East or drive up from the Middle East and then they jump on a boat from France to the UK. So that's my first question. And the second question is, like, me and my mates always joke about this, and I don't really like talking about it too much because I think you get done for inciting violence and that. But I think there is huge tension in the UK at the moment, and like it is going down a dark path, a very dark path. So first question, let's get to the first question of, like, what is the process of someone getting into your, like, where are they coming from? What are they doing? Are they just walking up? Is it taking a month and then they're just hopping on a boat and then you guys are giving them hotels to live in, money, food, you're housing them? Is that how it happens?
I'd say the closest insight I think we've had is GB News, which has been an absolute godsend, basically. I went on GB News not long ago. We touched on that, but you had Ben Leal, you had Patrick Christie's. They actually went over to the migrant camps in Calais, and he was just trying to get an insight of why they come in, who's told you to come, what. Got over there, he interviewed a few people. I want the house, I want the money. It's like these people have been told that England is the charity land. And Patrick did a piece on, it was like a board, and it was like instructions of where to go, how to get things, and it was just there for you to see. And I was like, you would never ever know that. Through Sky or BBC, you'd never get that. So basically, Patrick organised with one of these smugglers via WhatsApp. So basically, he would be like, be at this place, this is how much it is, you get a life jacket, you get on a boat, take you straight over. Then what happens is, the RNLI, or, the board of whatever they're called, they would go out to the channel, they would pick these people up, put them in the boat, take them back to a processing centre in Calais, in Dover, in England. And then basically what we were starting to piece up was these boats were then put on a truck, taken back to Cali. These people were then processed, so the documentation, and you could, I don't know if you heard, but the people were throwing the passports away and stuff that have no documentation, so it makes the process even longer.
I have seen that.
Yeah, well, you know, they were trying every trick in the book. They were coming into a line about their age, not giving the real name. So we don't know who they are, no background checks on them. That's why you've got to understand people's frustrations, because you're just letting a complete unknown into a community. That community could be nice and peaceful.
Could be a terrorist, could be a murderer, could be a rapist.
Yeah. Do you not remember the guy who was telling Nigel Farage he was coming to kill him, who had the gun tattoo on his face with a gun? Frightening. That is absolutely frightening. I don't care if Nigel Farage is a millionaire and he's got security and stuff. That is frightening. And the worrying thing for me on that was this guy was going live on TikTok. This guy was posting these videos on TikTok. And what they do for these processing centers is go, right, get on this coach, you'll be going to this area. They don't have a clue where they're going. And then they were just going to the hotels basically where they got government contracts. And then they were just getting them off, putting them in these thingies. I'm guessing they'll have rules and they're not allowed to go out, they're not allowed to do this. But the thing is, when you started seeing videos of people being attacked in parks, attacks, rapes, which the guy in the Bell Hotel in Epping was accused of rape, which started the whole like eruption down in Essex, and he was found guilty. He was found guilty of doing what he was accused of. So these people protesting outside these hotels, I don't say they're protesting. I don't say the word protest outside these hotels. No. I see a very concerned community who have sons and daughters, and they're looking at this building with all these unknowns in this building. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they're capable of. And when you're going into the whole tension thing, it's on thin ice. Like I always say in my videos when it comes to this, we as a country are one event away from it just going off, like massively off. And do you know what? Fair play to them going to that march, Unite the Kingdom, 26 arrests, which I think, you know, the police antagonised them a little bit, this section of people. But you had the Charlie Kirk thing added to that as well. But you didn't see violence. You didn't see, you know, anger. You didn't. I just saw patriotic people. I've seen granddads, I've seen grandmas, I've seen mums, I've seen dads, I've seen children, disabled people, people of different coloured skin. It was just a gathering of people going, I've had enough of what's going on in this country. Keir Starmer and Kemi Badenoch, the two pies, you need to realise that I can get these numbers together. I can get these people to rally and speak on this stage. Them two couldn't get them numbers put together, even if they tried. So that, for me, sends a strong message, signal, whatever you want to call it, to the government to say, look, people power, this is how annoyed people are. But they still don't care. We're going to smash the gangs. We've seen them Monday, Tuesday, failed attempts to deport these people. One person, one in, one out. The deal with Macron, it's an absolute joke. France are laughing at us, by the way. France, you know, we've given France so much more money. But when you look at it in the sense, going back to GB News, of the path of it, of how it happened, how it started and how it ended, it was like set up. That's how it's meant to happen. And then they did another video. A few of them kicked off with Patrick. Then the police turned up. Then they were slicing the boats to show, because they knew it was going to go on the media because the cameras were there. But the ease of it, that's what scared me. That's what really scared me. The ease of it for Patrick Christie to get his phone out and go, this is what I can do. I can get on this boat. I pay him 1,500 quid or whatever it is. Guaranteed I'll get to England. And when you get to England, this is what you say. This is what you do. It's like a guide of the promised land. Here you go. Come away from this. But and that bugs me as well. Like, I know you said they fly him in from wherever to Australia. We've got a channel between us. But when you look at Europe as a whole, this isn't just happening in England, by the way. This is happening all across Europe. Rome, you know, Greece. It's everywhere. It's absolutely right everywhere, apart from Poland. Dominic Tarzinski, the Polish politician, who's like, be like Poland. You know, we don't accept any in. I'm not a racist. I'm not this. I just love my country. I love the people. And I love it. If I was Keir Starmer, I'd be ringing him up and saying, give me that blueprint right now. This is how we want to solve the issue. They don't accept it. And that's fantastic. That's how it should be for me.
It's not even a blueprint. You just got to put your own people before everyone else.
Exactly. This is what people are screaming for, and that's why I think you have uniting the kingdom. But straight away, what we've seen on Saturday is disgusting. It's disgraceful. Far right thugs, racist. Do you know what? On the stage there on Uniting the Kingdom, you had the little girl who got sent home from school for wearing a Union Jack on, celebrating England, basically. Is she racist? Is she racist? No, she's not racist.
I think she just loves her own country.
And like you said before, when you get called racist, have you ever asked the question, why am I racist? Give me an explanation. Don't just say the words, which for me, the left do. They just spout words. Give me an understanding and a backing of what you're saying, because for me, they're just as bad. They're very violent. They get angry, and if they don't agree with you, that's the way they go. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. And I've come up with this. It went quite viral as well. I said, all these people on the left that are protesting against the migrants or whatnot, what we should do. So we should turn around to these people. We've done videos on it before where the people will go, you support the migrants? Yeah, I'm supporting the migrants. Blah, 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 blah. Have you got a spare room in your house? Why not give that up? Well, I can't because I rent. Or just the excuse after excuse. Nobody's giving up So it's like, well, you're definitely for them, but you don't want to help them. I said, why do we not put a thing out where we say, all those people what support the migrants, let's raise your taxes. Your taxes are going to be raised to support this. What you dearly support, and these people on the right, we're going to keep the taxes as normal. How quickly do you think then people would change their opinions if we did that?
Very, very quickly. You take money out of someone's hands.
This is what I mean. It's so easy to... Keir Starmer, all he needs to do is go, stop the votes, right? Any votes that come in, just remove them. Send them back to France. We made a deal, whatever.
Hotels, you guys have one of the greatest. You guys have one of the greatest navies in the world. The UK for hundreds and hundreds of years have been the greatest naval force in the world, and you're still punching well above that at the moment. Yeah. And you guys can't even protect a channel.
I know. They must feel like
from boats that don't even shoot back.
The thing is, do you not think like if you was in the Navy and you were seeing this madness happen, and you weren't going to do anything, I would kind of feel like, why am I here then? What am I doing? Why am I going through all this training to be in the Navy? And I can see this happening. Why am I even putting myself through it? There's no reason to put myself through it. When, like you said, all it takes is go and stop them. That's all you've got to do. It's as simple as that. They could do it in a day. Donald Trump did it in America. He got in, stopped. Not one person after
and all people have to do over there is just walk across Mexico. And he stopped it so fast. He made the previous administration look silly because they were trying to claim that they couldn't do it. And it's like, you can do it. You just got to have a bit of nous about you.
Yeah, and Poland as well. And that just puts the message out to everyone in Europe, Australia, wherever you are. It can be done. It's just got to have the right people to do it. That is it. You've got to have a backbone, a set of knackers, and go for it. That is all you've got to do, because this is what you're going to get. If you're saying Australia now looking at the UK of what it's going to be like in a couple of years, you could see the same. This millions of people turning out with. When you were talking before, when you said you just feel like you're losing something, that's for the UK, losing our identity at a very, very fast pace, and that's what I feel like you would be doing, and that's where I think you'd be heading if no action is taken. It's as simple as that. It's not rocket science. Stevie Wonder could see it. That's the path you're going down. If you don't do anything, don't take action. If there's no marches, if there's no people turning up and not giving a crap and just getting on with their everyday life, that's when you've got a problem. That's when you've got the big problem.
Yeah, to get Australians up and marching as well. We're a pretty compliant, we're a very relaxed country. And our way of life, I don't know if you've ever really hung around Aussies before. We're all pretty relaxed, right? It takes a bit to get us going. So, we don't have the same sort of culture as you guys. How it's like football day, and you're really rallying these sort of big crowds, and it's all about singing and chanting. We have AFL, we have cricket, we have rugby, but we just don't have that culture of, bonding together in big groups. We're just very relaxed people. And to get Australians out and marching, like the way they did on the 31st of August, it was phenomenal because Australians don't march. You know, we're not. We just don't have that inbred in us at all. It's not really who we are. We've always just the government here, there, but to actually to get Australians marching shows significantly where we are headed as a country. And everyone came out and called everyone that attended them racist and all this stuff. And there might have been like a low level, Nazism to it or something like that. But again, like, do I hate those guys for like wanting to protect their country? No. Do I agree with how they go about it? No. But at the same time, like, I can't fucking blame them for being pissed off at a country. They're just going about it on their very, very far scale of things, and you've probably got the same sort of stuff happening over in the UK. But all this shows is just government. Governments aren't doing their job, so everyone is rising up, and some people are rising up in a far more extremist version, and some people are just rising up in a more normal version. But we're all rising up because we're all pissed off. Now, you said before, like, the left are dangerous, and mate, the Charlie Kirk reaction in Australia. I haven't done a podcast since Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and I have been appalled. Not only appalled, actually disgusted at the reaction from, I now call them the radical left, the reaction from the radical left in Australia, celebrating someone's death of a man and a father and a husband that only wanted to debate. Now, people call Charlie Kirk far right. I actually call him moderate right. I don't call him a far right. He was a moderate right. It's like, if you kill Charlie Kirk, the next one up is Nick Fuentes. Like, that's the next right, and that guy doesn't mess around.
I know.
And it's like people celebrating that. You killed the only person that was practically willing to have open discussion debates with you, and to celebrate that actually celebrates the death of democracy in a certain way, because now you're celebrating the silence of someone's death, and I took this really, really personally in Australia, because not that I am on any level at all close to what Charlie Kirk was, what he built himself into, how he practically revolutionized a country just by debating. So I'm nowhere near his scale, and I don't ever claim to be that. But people say to me, like, you're the Charlie Kirk of Australia in comments and message me and stuff like that. And after that, and after his death, I thought to myself, if I copped around to the neck tomorrow, I mean, there would be a lot of people in Australia celebrating my death. So I got really, really pissed off at that. I've done some stuff around my security with my family, because, mate, death threats are a real thing in this game, especially if you speak out in Australia. I don't know if you're the same, something like that. I might go on a little bit of a more hardened line approach to what I sort of say, but, those sort of things do roll in, and they're real, and I've had to, get advice. I've had to do a few things. I've had to change my footprint. My wife's had to do a whole bunch of things as well, which she wasn't too happy about, but it's the world we live in now. But I was absolutely disgusted to know that, there's a whole bunch of people that claim to be the side of love. They claim to be the side of unity, but they showed to me that they're only hate, destruction, and silencing. That's what they want. That's who they are. And the reason they are like that is because they can't debate our ideas of common sense. Yeah. These people, when you throw facts at them about climate change, if they're claiming there's 52 genders, DEI, where skin color and gender matter more than merit. If you throw these arguments at them, they just get angry with you because they can't argue back. Now we've got to a point where they're celebrating the death of someone that was willing to talk to them. Yeah. And it's like, at the moment, I don't know if you guys are feeling it in the UK, but there is a tension. There is a tension between, and let's just call it left or right for traditional purposes, but it's almost more leaning to something different. Like I don't know what it is or how we got here, but there seems to be something different. Maybe not left versus right. It's more of like are we going to save our country or not?
Yeah. It's I took it quite personally, to be honest. I was driving.
So you're similar to me.
I got very emotional about it. I got sent the video, and I was like, I'm not religious in any shape or form, and I said a little prayer on the way home. But when I actually saw the close-up footage of it, which I just wish I didn't see, I just thought there's no way on this planet, and there's no way on this planet that he's going to survive that. And I took it. I was a massive fan. I used to watch most of his debates. He's been to England. He debated in Oxford. He's been on GB News. And you're right, to give people the opportunity to an open mic to speak for a couple of hours, he'd let them speak. He wouldn't interrupt. But the whole reaction for me, as soon as I saw, because what happens is normally, I don't know if you get it as well, but I get sent so many things, videos, pictures. I don't even have to look for content anymore. As soon as them videos started rolling in of people mocking, celebrating, laughing, dancing, openly on TikTok, by the way, then people saying, Nigel Farage next, please. That for me, surely opened the eyes of some people in the middle, not on the side, have gone, 1 minute, I don't really want to be associated with that because that's pretty disgusting. That man has got children and a wife. When you take away from the content and the celebrity status or the status or whatever, that's just a normal human being like me and you, gets up, has children. I instantly thought of that, and I thought, how on earth have we got to this stage in this planet where you can't beat him in a debate, you've just got to take him off this planet. That's the only way you can do it. And when I've read the text messages today, by the way, what the shooter did and why he did it and stuff, I think he was personally radicalised over the past year. His dad was pro-Trump massively, and his parents said that over the 12 months he just got, he got well into politics. And that's why I don't really listen. I'll listen to the left if they've got a debate and opinion. I'll listen to it. I've got to do it. I'm a bit like Charlie. You've got to do it. You've got to literally listen. Not that I agree with it, but I think something different that day. It opened my eyes to something completely different. When I seen a video of that guy jumping in the flowers in America, and he was kicking them and he was laughing.
And then the old guy came and threw him off it.
Yeah, it was brilliant. The police. By the way, if that happened in the UK, the police would have arrested him for strangling him. I guarantee it. That's how bad it is. But when I started seeing videos of people laughing on TikTok, open TikTok, by the way, laughing, dancing, smiling, it absolutely disgusted me to the absolute pit of my stomach. I was like, how on earth? I don't like Keir Starmer. I don't like, and if that happened to him, there's no way on this planet I'd get my phone out and start laughing and doing open videos, because one, you'll have consequences, and two, you've got to live with that because that'll be outed. People will screenshot it. The only plus side to that is that people started contacting employers, and these people started losing their jobs. And at the end of the month, when they can't afford the bills, because this rules everybody. This money, I don't care what anybody says, money rules everybody. That should hit them home and going, did I really need to do that? But some people genuinely mean it, that they're happy that he's no longer on this planet, and it frightens me that we've got people like that walking amongst us. It's upsetting. It's ridiculous. It's scary. It scares me. People going about far right and they're racist and they're violent and stuff. The only violence I've seen, and I have seen in the past whatever months, is them people, and it's disgusting. There's no room for it on the internet. We should not be seeing it at all. And I was doing lives on TikTok and Facebook. You get people coming in saying, laughing, and it really affected me. And I thought, and it's nearly a week, I've thought about it every single day. Every single day. My FYP's full of it. And it really upset me. It really did. I cried when I was at the table with my missus eating my tea. And then when I seen the video, I cried. I thought it was super sad, really, really super sad.
Yeah, I was sort of similar. I was sort of similar. Because we woke up quite early in the morning, and the first thing I see is just him take her around to the neck. And being ex-military, he lost liters of blood before he even hit the ground. So I just knew that, like, I knew he's dead. I knew he wasn't going to make it. And I heard some of the footage and stuff like that of, potentially his kids being there, and one of them was running towards him at the time. Yeah, I heard that was false. Yeah. But I didn't know it was false at the time, and I was holding my little baby because I have a 9-week-old baby, and I actually had a tear in my eye because I thought to myself, what, like the separation now that man and that child has, like, they'll never. That's it. They only know their dad of what he was, and it made me have a tear to my eye just holding my little baby in that moment.
I've got 10 weeks. Yeah. And the thing is, like you said, his kids. In the future, his kids would probably see these videos of people laughing at their dad being murdered, assassinated, whatever you call it. And I've got a 10-week-old baby as well, and it's kind of similar. And I look at the world as a whole, and I think you've got people laughing at people being assassinated. What are you doing bringing children into this world? It's not like he was Osama bin Laden or someone really, really bad. Like, it's not like he executed people. Nope.
He wasn't ISIS. He wasn't throwing gays off rooftops. He wasn't beheading babies. He hasn't raped anyone. He was debating your ideas. That's what he was doing. He was having an open discourse, and this guy was a weapon at debating. He used to debate for 5 or 6 hours of lines of uni students, and they would come in with all types of different topics, and he would be able to intellectually sit there, not overload, and be able to debate. I honestly think that he probably goes down as one of the greatest debaters in the history, easily. Just his photographic memory, his ability to regurgitate information at the drop of a hat. Yeah. Like, he used to be able to bring up Bible verses that, like, he's read the Bible back to the front and stuff like that. But No, he can't. I've got a good friend coming on next week of an independent reporter, and we're actually going to go over the assassination, and because there's been a whole bunch of weird stuff come out as well. A whole bunch of weird stuff come out, I won't say it on here. I'll wait till me and my mate go over it. But with him potentially refusing funds from a foreign country, and then I might as well say it now. So Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, a lot of people were coming out. He actually refused $150 million from Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, like a month before he got assassinated. And then the same day that he got assassinated, the Republicans, and I don't know if the Democrats did, but anyway, they voted against releasing the Epstein files in America the same day in their Senate. And I'm like, wow, we need to do a bit of a review on this. So I've got a friend coming in to talk about it. Yeah. Next week. I'm not saying that any of this has happened. Yeah. The evidence is clearly pushing towards this kid has been radicalized. The US government has got a whole bunch of information. They're building a case. He will definitely get tried and found guilty, I think. But I just there's a whole bunch of stuff out there on the internet at the moment flooding out. And to me, it's just like, well, I do want to talk about it because people won't hear about it unless we don't talk about it. So, and that's what Charlie would have wanted. Charlie would have wanted 100%. Us to question stuff around, his death or what happened as well. But talking to a few ex-military mates and guys that have been spent a decade in 2 Commando, which is special forces here, and they were trained snipers, been to Iraq and Afghanistan. It's talking to them. The shot that's a very easy shot to make. Even I could train someone within half an hour to make that shot.
Yeah.
The really weird part is the infill and exfil, like getting onto a US campus. That's pretty hard. There's a lot of school shootings in America. Getting onto a US campus isn't the same as getting onto a university in Australia. They're pretty heavy with their security. And then shooting from the roof, that's an untrained shooter thing to do. If you're going to be a trained sniper, you're shooting from within the building so no one can see you, and you can collect all the cartridges and on your way out. So you got the cover, so you're going to shoot from inside of buildings. But yeah, all the stuff that they're coming out about the transgender boyfriend, all this stuff, it just seems to be pointing towards a very radicalized person.
Yeah, he was very sloppy as well, wasn't he? He had, because everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, but where's the gun? Where is the gun? What is it?" But he put it down his trousers, didn't he? And put his jumper over it. And then he dropped it. He put it in the green thing. He took a picture and released it, and it was his granddad's gun, wasn't it? It was his grandfather's gun.
Yeah.
And he had a £2,000 scope on it as well. And then his mum noticed him, recognised him. Then she spoke to his dad, and it was very sloppy. But yeah, in the context of Moore's come out, I was listening to Candace Owens, and she's not messing about. She's like, I will release text messages, I will release everything. And I just think, there's a lot more to this. I think when you were saying about Bibi, I think they wanted, Turning Point to be a bit more pro-Israel, and he started calling it out and stuff. So you've got to question all that. You can go into it for hours, you've got to question it, you've got to look into it. But I think over the next couple of months, I think you're going to see things just, I think they're just going to come out slowly bit by bit. I think there's a lot more to it than what we've seen on being told on the media and the news. There always is. But yeah, it's...
And it's going to be one of those things, right? Like, it'll get buried.
Yeah.
We won't know what actually. Let's just take it on face value, and let's just make sure, because the investigation's still going, so we can't really say much more than that. But it might be one of those things that, who knows? Someone might make a Netflix documentary on it in 50 years' time, saying the assassination of Charlie Kirk, what actually happened, and then we'll be sitting there really old, probably surrounded by probably surrounded by a bunch of immigrants, and being like, oh, that's what happened. Paying ridiculously energy bills. We're probably living in a communist state attached to China or India or something like that.
Yeah, we're not far already, but yeah,
mate. Just the topic I want to sort of finish with here is, Australia. We are like, one of the crazy stats that Australians always hear is like, there's 33 UK born people that are getting, or UK citizens that are getting arrested for social media posts.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't happen in Australia, but we are bringing in like 3 to 4 months, we're bringing in an under 16 social media ban. And everyone's like, it's a Trojan horse. It is a Trojan horse, because all they have to do is just tweak one little bit of ruling or law, and then bang, it's not under 16 social media anymore. It's like everyone. So if they just tweak it, it's like, went from under 16s, started now. If you speak up against the government, bang, you're off social media.
It's like the Online Safety Act in the UK. It's for the kids. For the kids, and then straight.
Yeah. So can you explain to me what happened there? Because again, you guys are just you're just an in-look into our future.
Yeah. I think you are right there. I think it is a bit of a. They did it with the Online Safety Act, and I'll tell you something else as well. I don't know if you had it on the TikTok app. I don't know if you like, but when it was coming up to the 13th, which was the Uniting the Kingdom, the march, you don't get them very often on TikTok. But when I went on, a big box came up, updating conditions, community guidelines, all that sort of stuff. And these will apply from the 13th of September. So I thought, that's very, the march, And I have noticed, and people have told me this as well, that people are posting videos of protests. People, if there's any sort of like altercation and stuff, take them down, or they don't push them. And I've noticed videos as well, and you mentioned certain things. You're not even allowed to say Tommy Robinson on TikTok, because they won't push it or they'll take it down. But I personally think that what I've seen in the last 3 months personally on TikTok is that my analytics have literally plummeted. every single analytics. So you're talking views, the payouts, the comments, the interaction, basically, because it's AI. They listen to what you're saying. So if you start a video with all these hotels, migrants, or whatever, they don't want that. They're pushing that out there, and we know that because the Online Safety Act, they were saying we need to protect kids. So like, if you want to get onto like a pornography website now, you've got to have your ID. Then they went on about the VPNs, and you just think about it and you think, are you actually doing this for the kids, or is this gonna, like you said, it will start off with the children and then it'll just slowly just go like that? And I think using AI, I think they will probably use keywords of certain things like, Palestine or, far right,
immigration.
Yeah. And I personally think it might start with, I think he's already started. I've got living proof that it's already started with basically the content I do on TikTok. That they will suppress it. They will suppress it they will just literally, for me, I was on TikTok on my main account. The views I could pull in easy 30 million a month on TikTok, 30 million a month. And in the past 3 months, I've noticed videos. So like I could upload a video and within a couple of minutes, 10,000 views, bang, like that. Loads of interaction, likes, comments, shares, whatever. Now, I went through a phase where I'd upload a video, same style, nothing changed. It would be on like 200 views after like an hour. And it was like, it's a bit weird. Because they had to change. They had a same thing. They changed, a big update and stuff. And then like I said, my analytics over the last 3 months have just gone like that every single month. So I've gone from like 30 million down to like 6 million, which is still a lot, but when you put it into the context of where it used to be, and I've got all the proof that is there, and I started to call it out a little bit. I think it's already in. I think it's already in motion, and I think it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. In the sense of, they're going to suppress that sort of content. But when you were talking about people being locked up, Lucy Connolly is just living proof of that. She put a tweet out. She walked a dog. She came back. She thought, oh, one minute, I might be a bit over the top. I'll delete it. She deleted it. She was on GB News talking about it the other night. But when you actually look at what she said and she deleted, when you compare that to someone like, I also forget, Ricky Jones, who was actually stood in the street with a megaphone calling for far-right MPs to have their throat slit in the public eye, by the way, and he just got away with it, scot-free. He went to the court, nothing happened to him. So when you compare that to what she did, where she just put a tweet out, for him to be physically in the street in front of people with a megaphone to make it sure that everybody could hear him, videos are there, social media is there, you know it is. That for me should have been the same sort of 31 months. You're going to prison. You're enticing hatred there. You're telling, you're saying it with your own mouth into a megaphone that people should go and slit throats of MPs, of people that you don't agree with, have different opinions. So it's like one rule for them, but for like people like who want to put tweets out, you see the guy who sadly hung himself. He put a tweet out. You have many people. I think these people have not even been spoken about who've had a sentence for doing public posts. Now, I don't know the context of them posts. I know what Lucy said in a kind of like a, what she kind of like the guide, what she basically said. But when you compare it to what Ricky said, it's the same sort of thing. You're enticing hatred. So how is one person getting a prison sentence and one person just walks away with it scot-free? No punishment, just crack on with your job, carry on, don't worry about it, we'll look after you. And then the changes in the community guidelines, you've got the Online Safety Act, where they said it's for 16-year-olds, then having to log on to certain websites and stuff. I think it's already in full flow, but it's going to get bigger and bigger. And the thing is, when you see these marches, these protests, like I said, they're taking videos down of this. You're not allowed to say Tommy Robinson. You're not allowed. I personally think as well, you're not allowed to talk about flags. You're not allowed to talk about the Great British flag. These people putting the flags up and stuff. I think they'll either suppress it or they just won't. They'll just delete it or they'll kick you off. I've seen a big profile this morning on Instagram that got removed for talking about immigration and stuff on Instagram. His account was just completely wiped off. So when you look at it from that angle, it's like, well, we've got Keir Starmer in the White House telling us that we've got free speech. We don't have censorship. I think you should be able to say what you said in within boundaries. I don't think you can start saying, right, cutthroats, do this, whatever. Within boundaries, if you've got an opinion and you're putting a valid debate forward, I don't see the issue with that. I don't think it should be suppressed, but it is happening. And like I said, I've got proof. I can show you my analytics if you want. They've just gone like that over the past 3-4 months. And them last 3 months, the 4 months, that's when I think the online safety started coming out, new guidelines on TikTok and stuff. It's like the government have said, we'll tell you what's going on, and that's it. You cannot have a view, you can't have an opinion on that. We'll tell you what's going on. And if you think that's what's going to happen in Australia, slowly and gradually, that's what you're going to get. So basically, if you talk about something, you will see the same thing. It was infuriating. I was going to quit TikTok because I just thought it was pointless putting all this effort in editing, looking into stuff, doing videos. And then at the end of the day, your video's got 500 views. And then you think, well, 4 months ago, I did a video on Donald Trump and it did 5.5 million views. Now I'm doing videos and I can't get over 1,000. That doesn't just happen. So, there's something happened. I know 100% something's happened. Keywords, AI, suppression, censorship, and free speech. Well, it can stick that where the sun don't shine because we don't have free speech. Because if we did, Ricky Jones would be doing a prison sentence just like Lucy Connolly.
Yeah, we seem to be in this really weird time at the moment where, like, we're not in a democracy. We don't have open and free speech anymore. Like, the one thing that I'm really, really worried about over the next, like, probably 2 to 3 years, I'm starting to build my platform up. My podcast is getting great views.
Yeah.
Everything around it starting to come together. I'm connecting with people. I'm speaking with people, and like I'm doing what I dreamt of doing since I started my podcast, and I'm making, like, this is becoming my job now. It's like, so it's really, really cool to see, like, I've built this from nothing and where it's going. My worry, and I know it's coming, I don't know when.
I know what you're going to say. I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah, but my worry is that my platform's going to get shut down and bang.
Yeah.
I can't provide for my family. That's why I can't provide for my family anymore.
Yeah, I can't. People ask me all the time. I could quit my job. Financially, I could quit my job and do this full time. I've got a studio right here. Got everything I need to do the content. But when I see, like I saw today with that code, just like gone. No ifs and buts, just gone. So that's some people's income gone, done and dusted.
How big was he?
It was quite big. It was 200. I think I screenshot it. I think it was a couple of 100,000, but that was only on Instagram. So that's only on Instagram. But the thing is with it, it's not like one of these things where you could just ring them up and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, what's going on?" Or that's it. You're done. You're done and you're dusted. Your kids, like you said, they could cancel you at any time if they don't agree with something. They don't want to push it. But what I will say is, I basically used to just solely do my content on TikTok, that was it. And then about 6 months ago, a big content creator who does decorating was like, why are you not on Instagram? Why are you not on Facebook? And I was like, I don't really know what to... I set it up and it just literally, the levels above, the absolutely levels above TikTok. The followers I get, I've had over 40,000 followers on Instagram this month. The money on Facebook, the monetization on Facebook, I feel like, I believe anyway, Mark Zuckerberg has looked at the sort of the incoming views of the far right or whatever, these debates and stuff, and I think they're pushing it more. I think they're letting this happen. YouTube as well, they relaxed the politics sort of game, didn't they? I seen that and I thought, I've got to do that, because if I don't, and TikTok get rid, I'm not got anything. I've not got anything whatsoever. So over the past
the reason, just to jump in, I think the reason that, because Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, they used to be the worst. Now, not that Zuckerberg owns YouTube is YouTube, but Facebook and Instagram, they used to be the worst. I now find that I actually get, I actually get videos taken down and shadow banned a lot more on TikTok than I do on any other platform. It's like TikTok's the woke platform now.
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook, you notice when Zuckerberg started getting into fighting, MMA, all this sort of stuff, started hanging around with UFC guys, he got in with Dana White. Dana White then got in on the board of Facebook, and it's like, He's connected to Donald Trump. Hey, free speech is back again. We need to make sure that we can ensure that the people have another news source except for that isn't the TV. So I think definitely Mark Zuckerberg has had some influence from Dana White, who's had influence from Donald Trump, which is good. Free speech. That is the influence that is needed. Like if they were getting, because before this, he was getting influence from the Democrat Party. He's came and openly said this before, where the Democrat Party on the Joe Rogan podcast, they pushed him into silencing voices and shadow banning accounts. Yeah. Now that, like Zuckerberg, he just wants the money. Now that he's, rolling with the Republican boys and the UFC and going to all these events, it's okay. But so from a global point of view, we're all right. But from our own country point of view, I mean, that guy, 200,000 he just, followers, he just got his account taken down. Now, I've recently just got 200,000. What's going to happen to me in 3 months?
Congratulations, by the way, pal. I've seen it. Well
thanks,
done.
mate.
That's brilliant, mate.
Yeah, I've had some unreal figures lately. I got, the last 30 days, I've had 85,000 followers.
It's unbelievable, mate. I only started mine like 4 months ago, proper pushing it. Probably not even that. But the whole Charlie Kirk thing, the figures were just out of this world. I've never known anything like it. And I've got like celebrities following me, messaging me, inboxing me. I've had invites left, right and centre. What I think Australia needs...
I get the same thing. I just try to ignore them all, though.
I'm not one of them like, oh my God. But sometimes it's like really nice to think that they think the same thing as what we're saying, but they don't really want to get their name out there because
it's cool. It's really nice when they do that, because that like they're noticing this as well from that level.
And they're millionaires, by the way. These people are millionaires. Money's not an issue. They can go wherever they want to. But it's nice. It's still really nice. And I look at some of the. And I think, wow, that is incredible, I personally think Australia needs a GB News. Have you not been invited to go on a news channel to have a debate?
I get invited all the time to go on news channels.
What sort of channel though is it? Because GB it's obviously right. And I went on a panel of 5, and they did have someone on the left on there, just an open discussion, no raising voices or getting angry. And I think that's really good. I think that's really, really good to have. You don't get it on Sky News. You don't get it on BBC. You never get it on the BBC. I think that would be really good. And I think because they've just branched out to America as well. If they get it over there, you could be hosting that. You know what I mean? I've had some discussions with some pretty big media personalities over the past few weeks. But yeah, Sky News reach out to me all the time. Radio stations reach out to me all the time. I'm not really keen on going on any of those sort of platforms. I like to keep myself separate from TV and radio. One, because come listen to my podcast. Yeah. And then 2, I just don't want to be persuaded by getting on national TV and, because they've all got narratives to push. Yeah. They've all got narratives to push. I've got a big platform they want me on. Yeah. But I would rather keep my voice separate from all them because I get the viewership. So we got roughly 27 million people in Australia. On my Instagram account, I'm almost pushing the viewership of Australia every single month. Yeah, that's incredible, isn't it? That's how many views I get. So, and that's only on one platform. So it's I don't think I really need to hop on any sort of TV. Maybe something will happen in the future where I do potentially get on, but mate, at the moment I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. But I just feel. Because this is now moving into, and like this is feeding my family. Yeah. I actually now feel worried about the future and what it holds for me and what my voice can be and what it can be suppressed by with government suppression after this under 16 ban. Like, can they just take away my voice and my platform, which takes away food from my family? Like, is that what's potentially going to... So that's what I would... Like, there's nothing that keeps me up at night. I'm not a bad sleeper. I sleep about 5 or 6 hours a night anyway. But if I were to say something were to keep me up at night, that's my one worry. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I've been in the same boat, mate, where I think the same thing, like TikTok, for example, when I seen it going down like that, I thought, I've got to do more. I've got to branch out. Instagram, Facebook. You know, the month just gone. I think we did like 63 million over the views and stuff. That's crazy. That's like something I can't get in my head. I go on the streets. I'm guessing you get recognised when you go on the streets and people come over to you and say nice things.
Everywhere. I actually can't go, and like I don't want to sound arrogant in this.
It's mad, isn't it, when you say it? You're just like, I don't want to say, I don't
want to sound arrogant or whatever, but I struggle to go places now and have people not come up to me.
Yeah.
And I've had some pretty intense threats, like threats to me and my family. No. Yeah. So I've had some pretty intense threats to me and my family. And mate, especially like threatening my family. I don't care if you threaten me, but threatening my family, that's where you cross the line. And if someone, and I actually think that you have the right to defend yourself and take care of someone if they threaten your family, especially your daughter. If you threaten me, I don't care, man. Give me a beating, whatever. Well, I don't care. But threatening my family, so I'm very aware when I go out in public. So I have a lot of people come up to me, but every single person that comes up to me, there has been not one person that has come up to me and like, I don't disagree. I disagree with what you're saying. Every one of them are like shaking my hand saying, thank you for being a voice of common sense. It's refreshing. It's good to see someone younger talking about this stuff as well. And it's all love. It is all love. But there are other people out there that want you, they want you Charlie Kirks, mate, and most of the world will laugh at it if it did happen. Not most of the world, sorry. The radical left side in Australia, they'll laugh at my death. So I've taken that seriously. Man, that's just, it's a world we live in now.
I don't think I'm on that level where, well, to be honest, they probably would be people who, would laugh. But it is nice when you get people coming over to you and saying, different ages as well, where they like, love what you're doing, keep it up and stuff. It does come across like a proper cheese bowl, but like, when you said like, people come over threatening you, like my missus would walk away. I just say like, just walk away. Don't like stand there, walk away, whatever. But 9 times out of 10, it's always really nice to shake my hand or whatever, talk about it. And that's what makes me go, right, I need to do more. I'll just keep doing it. So don't ever worry about the fact that, they might try to silence you, because there's always another way. There's always another app, there's always other things. And then the minute you're on there and you're appearing, your crowd will just go straight there. But I know what you're saying, and you should be totally entitled to put your opinion out. If we've got free speech, let us use it. Let's have our speech, you know what I mean? Don't just have it on one side.
Yeah, and like Elon Musk said it the best. Free speech is the one that you disagree with, but you have to allow it anyway.
Yeah, of course,
and that's one of the most important things to do. But I'm just a bit worried about where we're going as a future. I'm not going to stop. I'm actually going to I'm really going to lean into some of the content I'm doing right now, and going to keep talking about some of the issues. And just keep hitting it on the head, mate. The both of us, I think we're making some type of change in the world. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting followers, right? So, mate, we're in a weird time, as well. Like we haven't had such a conservative voice, or there's a few of us that have rose up in Australia. So this is actually the first time the government's sort of been pushed, the radical left have been pushed on like a bigger scale of people calling it out. There's a lot of us doing it now, which is good, safety in numbers.
Yeah.
But it's very, very uneasy times. I'm assuming you guys are feeling the same. It feels like tensions are just on the rise, and the divisions are there. But divisions are also created by government, how governments are speaking. Like Keir Starmer says, we're in the fight of our generation, or whatever he said. It's like, mate, like, who are you fighting against? Your own people? So this just creates division. All their words create division, and they tactically use them words as well.
Yeah.
Coming from a military background, trust me, I can see this happening from a mile away. These people have, billions of dollars, every single resource they want. You don't think they've got people behind them, speech experts, being like, okay, we need to push this narrative. Say this. So we create divide within the people, and I'm seeing it more and more now. I'm starting to call it out more and more. But as you sort of call these things out, you got to spend more money on security. You got to spend more money on like editing, all this stuff, mate. Like the stuff I'm spending on security now is unreal. But I'm not taking the risk. So
Do you mean security is in like on your home, like cameras and stuff like that? Is that what you mean?
So a lot of security on that. I've also got I've got mates in industry. If I do gigs, they need to come out and like walk around with me. Yeah, and then also as well, given some of the threats coming out, potentially maybe looking at security for my family when I'm not with them and shit like that. So we'll just see how all that goes. We'll see what happens. But mate, I'm not going to stop. I mean, like, it is what it is. This is just the way they're trying to silence me. So
don't stop.
I just got to make sure I take the precautions.
Yeah,
don't stop. Make sure I'm smart enough and strategic enough with how we move, what I post on Facebook and all that sort of stuff. So and Instagram.
I just see the line and I just think, don't cross it. Stay behind it. Go right up to it if you like. Don't stop what you're doing. Just go to the line. And you know what I mean? That's where I just stay. I don't really go into depth of things. But I don't want to, lose. I've created something unbelievable. Never in a million years I'd have what I've got now and stuff. But you've got to keep doing it, mate. And it's not just you. There's many, many others out there probably in the same boat. But like, you're on a different scale. Do you know what I mean? There's people down there and they're getting cancelled or whatever. But you're on a different scale, mate. You've got to keep doing it, and you've got to do it for your country and your family, yourself, and their future. You just got to think of your little one's future. If you want a better future for them, you've got to do it. Because if you don't do it, you're going to get to your deathbed and think, what have I just let happen? Why have I just let that happen in my country? This is my country. You can't. You've got to do it, mate. You've got to carry on doing it. You've got to do it. And if you ever feel like you're going, I'm just going to give me a message, mate, and I'll give you a little bit of a motivational speech to get that mic and that camera set up and get it going again.
Well, mate, I might need it tomorrow morning because I'm about to go back to bed and get a couple hours sleep before my little baby rocks up. So I'll be asking that message tomorrow. But, mate, Chris, thanks very much for coming on Two Worlds Collide podcast. You've been a fantastic guest, and maybe in a couple of months we'll run it back and do it again. Yeah, 100%. Thanks for having me. The content, this government, it's on a platter. And it's there every single day for us. That's how easy it is. It's there. It's easy, isn't it? It's easy. It's easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's like I kind of don't want them to, finish and go and be all nice and sort everything because we won't have anything to talk about. So yeah, the world will go back to being boring, but at least our power bills will be manageable. We'd be talking about food and football now. We wouldn't get like 2 views or whatever, but. We'd have to go back to normal people reporting. What they used to do a decade ago. What's the weather like? Who's playing footy this weekend? But it needs to be at a nice level. It needs to come away from that. We're right up there at the moment where it's like scary on the verge of blowing off and all that. We need it to come right back down. And we need people to unite as well. We don't need this left-right business. We need people to be not violent. We need peace. We need unity. We need love. I know you're never going to get rid of all them divisions because you've got people who support different football teams, go to different schools or whatever, but we just need to see a bit more of this, like Ricky Gervais does. We need to see that. That's all we need. Yeah, and that needs to start with the government, not creating divide. Yeah, 100%. And the media outlets as well. Like media the worst, mate. In the UK, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, not Charlie Kirk has been assassinated, 30-odd years old Charlie Kirk has been assassinated or whatever. Far right. Didn't even mention his name. It was horrendous. Yeah, we got the same thing, mate. We got the same thing. We had they just did. I haven't watched it yet. I seen a few things on Twitter before I scrolled through. They had someone on ABC, this far left person, just bagging out Charlie Kirk for a whole segment. We've had two Australian senators practically celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk. Australian senators. We pay these people. They are the ones that represent this country, and it's just like, mate, I've amped things up after Charlie Kirk's death, and one thing that I will say, just before we finish up, I'm not a religious guy either, but I have had thousands of messages and people reach out to me just being like, God has told me that I need to tell you that you are doing a great job. It's just like, it's one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had. I've had friends of mine call me up as well, just being like, hey man, I just wanted to reach out, and I know you're not into religion or anything like that, but I just want to let you know that, I'm here for you, and like God has a plan for you. I'm like, I keep hearing this, God has a plan for me. people like, I don't open message requests ever.
I'm not.
It's just, so I don't open message and I don't look at comments anymore. And I stopped looking at comments about a month ago because I get thousands.
Yeah,
and that's I only get thousands on Instagram, so I just stopped scrolling and everything like that.
Yeah.
But after the Charlie Kirk stuff, I looked through my message requests, and the only ones that I opened were like, wrote me this novel and just being like, hey, I just want to let you know that God has a plan for you. And I'm like, what? How is it that I just keep opening these messages that keep saying is like, yeah, hey, I just want to let you know Jesus loves you. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is? And it was after the Charlie Kirk stuff, and it hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
People write me emails just being like, hey, there's a bit in the Bible here. I actually think this is relevant to you and your position and what you're doing now for this country. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. It's surreal. And I'm still trying to process it at the moment. I've spoken to friends about it and stuff like that. So like I said, I'm not a religious person, but something's happened to me after the Charlie Kirk stuff, and maybe from the reaction and stuff like that from the left that is driving this, and it might calm down in a few days or weeks. But I can't not notice the pour out of love that I've had. So everyone listening to this podcast, if you have reached out in that sort of way, I see it, I hear it, and it's definitely making me question a few things. So it is what it is. But look, mate, Chris, thanks for coming on Two Worlds Collide podcast. You've been a great guest, and like I said, we'll run it back again in a couple of months.
Sure thing. Let's do it.
Thanks for tuning in to Two Worlds Collide podcast. If you want to support what I'm doing, you can grab some merch or jump on my Patreon program. Both links are in the description. Until next week, take care, guys.